Good morning, everybody. Again, welcome you to our online Q School. Today we're going to be talking about a couple different topics. This is, I believe, our fifth or sixth Q School, so we appreciate you joining us and spending some time listening to us talk about our products. With that, this is our first venture at doing a bi-coastal presentation. So right now I'm going to throw it over to Phil Gerard, straight out of Compton.
Thanks, Shannon, and welcome everybody. Thanks for being here, as Shannon said. Today we're going to talk a little bit about distribution and quick ship solutions. So this, as Shannon mentioned, is our fifth or sixth webinar, but this is the first one we're doing both from our headquarters in Connecticut as well as our new Q-Tran facility here in Southern California. So welcome to beautiful Southern California. We are right outside of Los Angeles, close to Long Beach. Which is where our new West Coast facility is located. So we're going to talk today about distribution and quick ship solutions. We have had, as Shannon mentioned, six or so previous webinars. We have, here is a list on the screen for you to see. These webinars are all on our YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel, there's a link there in the webinar. We will add that to the chat function so you can click on it to get all of the videos that we have done. So these are the online webinars we've done, but we've also done a few others since we started this really around St. Patrick's Day. So we've done a virtual education, a verse launch, and some other things that aren't here on the screen. So all of these webinars are really where you're going to find your deep dive on the products. We are not going to do any real deep diving on products today, except a new product that we've launched recently for this distribution and quick ship program. So that we'll talk about, but all of these other things you can find here on this webinar or on the YouTube for all of these webinars. So I'm going to kick it back over to Shannon and to talk a little bit about why you should be using Q-Tran.
Perfect. Thanks, Phil. So as far as Q-Tran, we're known as a company that puts out great quality products, great color consistency on our tape products and all. But that's really what we're known for. When you get down to the tape business, we got more competitors than I can count. And the range of quality goes from very, very bad to extremely good. So we are at the upper end of that level. So what you end up with by using some of those other products is you can end up with color temperatures that don't match from reel to reel if their binning process isn't tight enough. You can also get much less light output than you intend. If you look at a lot of the cut sheets, they're rather suspect on what they put on there. So you may end up thinking you're going to get a certain amount of light, but when you put a lens on, put it in an extrusion, you end up with less light. Visible diode imaging is another issue, especially not only if the extrusion is visible, but also when it's not visible, you can also end up with that off of a reflective surface, like a countertop. Flickering is a huge issue with LEDs, both if you're dimming or not dimming. So we try to address all those different issues with this product that we're going to talk about, all of our products really, but the product we're going to talk about today. Why choosing Q-Tran? First of all of our products are engineered in the United States. So we engineer them to our specifications. The products that are built overseas, they're built there, but we do the engineering and the quality control on them. A lot of other manufacturers don't do much engineering. They simply buy and resell. We also do a lot of assembly. We do all the assembly here in the United States, some in California and some here in Connecticut. We also do manufacturing of the power supplies. The magnetics is 100% done here in the United States in Connecticut. As far as the light quality that I mentioned, all of our standard products are one step, one bin. The product that Phil's going to talk about today is one bin, two steps. We have the ability to do color changing that we've talked about in previous webinars. Our products are relatively easy for contractors to install, either building it themselves in the field or taking our pre-built fixtures and installing those. If you need something that's not in our catalog, every day we are entertaining various custom designs. So if you got a certain extrusion that we don't offer that you like, we can usually source those out. If you have another type of modification, we're very welcome to those types of opportunities. All of our standard products come with a 5-year warranty, with the exception of our magnetic toroid power supplies come with a 10-year warranty. As far as dimming, we offer a variety of different dimming types, from warm dim, flicker-free dimming down to 1% or less, even down to dark. We have products rated for closet. We have Title 24 and J8 compliant products. And then Phil's going to talk a little bit about the Quick Ship program that we're going to be introducing.
Great. Thanks, Shannon. So let's talk a little bit about the distribution program that we do have offered. We've talked about this with our reps, many of our reps so far. This is the first time we're doing it nationally. We feel this is a great program, especially given the current circumstances, and when things in the country start opening up, a lot of things will be moving quickly, and distributors will need to react and have products ready to go. So we feel this is a great time for us to nationally get this whole program, both this distribution program and our Quick Ship program, which we'll talk about later. So Shannon talked a little bit about the Q-Tran's products, but this product here in particular is our new SDSW product, which I have here, and Shannon will show a little bit later as well. So it's a 2, 4, and 6 watt a foot product. Those are the watts per foot it's available in. It's available in dry and wet. It is a 1 bin 2-step product, but all of our CRIs are over 95 and our R values over 90. Right? It has 2-inch cut points, where opposed to our spec product has 1-inch cut points. All of our chips are uniform, so the 2, 4, and 6 watt a foot, which Shannon again will show later, all have 2-inch cut points, and the product is available in Class 2 reels as well as 100-foot reels. Right? And with this distribution program, we also offer we offer many of our extrusions, not all of them, but all of our extrusions, just so people are aware, are a nominal 8 feet in length, so they are 98.43 inches. Here's one here sitting on an 8-foot table, and it extends a little bit over that table. We have many of our power supplies. Really, our biggest movers are available, and Shannon will go through those later. However, this is, we've tried to simplify the product selection. Sometimes our offering can be a little daunting for distributors and contractors, even sometimes our reps, because it is a broad offering, especially from the power supply standpoint and some of our linear solutions. So we've tried to really simplify this, and we're really talking about exclusive distribution here. We don't want to be on everybody's shelves. We really want to be on the shelves of the distributors who understand quality, who want to sell a better quality product, who want to give their customer base the best quality that they can, but with this new product, we've able to change and engineer a few different things to bring that specific price point down. So this distribution program has 3 levels: silver, gold, and platinum. With that come different price levels and different things, which please call your regional manager to discuss. They do come with different freight allowance policies as well, so please call your regional manager to talk about those as well. But all of them come with marketing material, annual stock balancing. They come with some merchandising material, displays, stools, countermats, trifolds. Sample kits. Here is an SDSW sample kit. Swing it over here to show. So this is our sample kit, and we really want all of the distributors who involved, even the contractors in the program, to have those. Okay, so this program we think is really available now because we are able to ship from multiple locations. So, as we briefly touched about on before, we now have 2 locations. Right? We have our headquarters in Connecticut, as well as our new West Coast facility here, as Shannon mentioned, in Compton. But it's technically Ranchos Dominguez, right outside of LA, near Long Beach. For those of you who are Visionaire reps and have been to their facility, we're literally across the street from them. So that is where we're located, and we're able to ship products now nationally quicker because we're able to ship products from here to the West Coast for projects here, for distributors here on the West Coast, and that relieves some of the bandwidth on the East Coast to allow us to ship orders out of there quicker as well. So here in this West Coast facility, right, we have quicker shipping times, which I alluded to, right? We do have assembly capabilities. I will, in a little while, have Erwin show some soldering capabilities as well. So we do assemble fixtures here. We do have the ability to ship projects, smaller size projects out of here. The larger ones certainly ship from Connecticut, but we do have those capabilities here. We are shipping orders out of here quicker, and we do have customer support here. We do have 2 account managers here on the West Coast, which allows us to service our reps, distributors, and anybody from Q-Tran, really from the hours of 8 a.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern, so 12 hours of coverage, which is definitely something that not all people have. So a little bit about the actual SD-SW product. Okay. This SD-SW product, as we mentioned, has 2-inch cut points. It is a high CRI, so CRIs are over 95. Right, it's a 1-bin 2-step product. Same cut points on everything, the 2, 4, and 6 watts a foot. Our color temperatures do match from output to output, right? So our 2700K is the same as our, on our 2 watt a foot as it is on the 6 watt a foot, so we can guarantee that those color temperatures match. Right, and they're going to match from output to output, they're going to match from reel to reel, and they're going to match from job to job, right? And that's important, especially when you're talking about distribution and they have products, on the shelf, and they, have a 100-foot reel of a product, and a contractor comes in and takes 50 feet of that, or a contractor takes 2 100-foot reels, and then the contractor has 50 feet left on their truck, right? Knowing that that's going to match from job to job, and when they add on to jobs is very key. And something we feel very strongly about, that our product is always going to match, right? And that same spacing allows for the same look in all of the extrusions, right? So so you know that in a torque extrusion or a Lalo extrusion, that it's always the 2 watt and the 6 watt are going to have that same look, okay? All right, so that's very important. So another important thing that we have rolled out recently, and we rolled it out with our SD-SW product and have brought that over to our spec grade product as well, is all of our boards are now marked. As you can see on the screen, you'll see a 3000K 2 watt a foot product. All of our boards from the SD-SW and the SW now have the markings on it. And that's important because, just like we talked about, if a distributor has an extra 50, cuts a reel down to 50 feet, or a contractor cuts one down and they have it on their truck, knowing exactly what is there is important. Or for some reason something they installed and they have a couple of different color temperatures on a job, and they installed something that doesn't look right, they can quickly go and look at the board to see what the actual color temperature is. So this is rolled out through all our products. Some of our slower moving products, like a 1.5 watt 2000K, something of that nature, we're still flowing through some of our old inventory that doesn't have the boards marked, but all of our bigger moving products have all of those things marked, okay? Here's a little more information on this SD-SW product, which I think is important. Shannon talked a little bit about the capabilities that Q-Tran has. We do offer photometric data on all of our products. That includes our distribution product. I've been on many other, Shannon talked about many competitors out there. There's so many of them. I've been on many when people ask us to compare our product to others, and I can't find this information. This information is something we freely share with you. It is something we're proud of, that we have our own photometric testing lab, that we can test all of our products, do it in built fixtures as well, to give you the exact delivered lumens from a built fixture. I have a very hard time finding that in any of our competitors' websites. That is something we feel strongly about, that we have all of this information. So you'll find this information on our spec sheets, and we can send you any information on any of the built fixtures at any time. We have somebody who's testing that all the time, so this is something we do feel very proudly about. So as I mentioned earlier, the product is available, and as we do have a per foot cost, because we are going to offer this product as a part of a quick ship program as well, but we also have it in class 2 reels, which you can see the lengths on the screen. And then also we have it available as 100-foot reels, and there is pricing available for all of those options. So I'm going to kick it back to Shannon, who's going to show you some of the products, so you can take a nice look at them.
Sure, thank you, Phil. So we're going to show, first of all, in the demo case that Phil had mentioned, you have a dimmer and you have a power supply, so you can actually physically show it. The difference between that and our spec case is there's, I think, eight or nine extrusions in there, but they don't have the tape installed on them. So the tape is all bundled together, so you can pull out different temperatures, stick it in different extrusions for if you're working with a customer or something like that. As I mentioned earlier, one of the things that we pride ourselves is in the quality of the products, as Phil mentioned as well on the cut sheets. I would challenge anyone to take our stocking distributor tape cut sheet and compare that to any of our competitors' spec sheets, and you will find that it has all the information on it, and our quality is as good as most other spec level products that we're selling as a stocking distributor tape. So with that, here we got three different wattages, 2, 4, and 6. In the demo case as well, we show all 4 lenses that are available for each product. They don't show very well on a video, but I apologize for that. And then we also offer that flicker-free dimming. So we dim all the way down to less than 1% to dark with this specific power supply, and up. So very smooth dimming on all 3 wattages, dim exactly at the same level as well. With that, as Phil mentioned, we don't do a damp label in this, because when we do damp label, we actually put the Q-cap encapsulation on top of the tape, and we don't have the capability of doing that in California yet. So we're offering the wet that is sleeved in the silicone sleeve, or the dry which is not. So this is IP20, and the wet label is IP67. So with either one of those or any of our tape products, always remember that it's not the extrusion that makes it watertight, it's the tape and how we treat the tape when it goes inside of it, with the exception of a extrusion that has encapsulation in it.
So part of our this program as well, for higher end distributors or showrooms who do want to offer our specification line to offer a competitive advantage, that they do their own lighting design, work with a local lighting designer, and their jobs are a little more price sensitive and they want to have stock on the shelf for those people. We do offer our spec grade product as well in 1.5, 3, 4, and 5 watts a foot, both in dry and wet, for those distributors or showrooms, the higher end ones who do want to offer that as something, as an upsell that they have. So as Shannon mentioned, this product is not available in damp. We do make the damp product in Q-cap. We do have 2 machines running on that, but that product, lead times, as many of you know, are in the 3 or 4 week range. So that product we cannot offer from a distribution standpoint or from a quick ship standpoint. So we do offer the dry and wet. Hopefully when we add a 3rd or 4th machine, maybe one in California, then we'll be able to do that. But that's only time will tell on those. So now a little bit about building fixtures, as well as we'll talk a little bit about the extrusions that we do offer here. So I'm just going to go around to the front of the camera now, real quick. Front here. So if you look here on your slide, pitch and spacing determines if the LEDs can be seen through the lens. Okay. So shorter cut points is the best, right? So our spec grade product is a 1-inch cut point. Our spec grade product has 1-inch cut points and looks the best in all of our extrusions. It's pixelless or diode free in every extrusion, but our slim, so it's gorgeous. So here is our SW product here in our torque. However, you can see here with the torque, because it's a little deeper, has a diffused lens, you still don't see any of the diode imaging in that. And then here in our Lato, here is the SW product here. As you can see, perfectly pixelless. It may not show well on the screen, but here's the Lato here with the SW product. And as you can possibly see, there are a little bit of diode imaging there, but very minimal. And even as you dim down, it's still very minimal. Some will call that pixelless. We're a little particular about that, especially with some of the designers we work with. But here in a shallower extrusion, the 1-inch is certainly the best, but 2-inch is still great. So that is our extrusions. And then, so that's how it'll look in a built fixture. On our next slide, you'll see the extrusions that we offer with the program. We do have 10 different styles, including the Lalo and the Talo. They are available in bronze, black, and aluminum. Not all of them are bronze. Many of them are. 4 different lens options, just like we have in the sample cases. We have the clear, frosted, polar, and diffused. Diffused is certainly the most popular, and all of this are available in full extrusions. And again, those are 98.43 inches, as well as we do offer them in a per foot cost. So now a little bit about our accessories. So when we're shipping reels, certainly you have to be able to solder things on. And with those, we do offer solder kits, jump kits, lead wire kits. We have Erwin over here who's going to do a brief demonstration on soldering. So we have our lead wire kits available, our jumper kits available. So these are for people who do want to solder in the field. Erwin here is setting up a strip right now, ready to solder. So this is Erwin. Erwin's part of our team out here on the West Coast. He is, unlike myself right now, practicing the proper protocol in the United States of wearing a mask. But you guys wouldn't be able to hear me as good if I had a mask on. So here's Erwin soldering. So as you can see, Erwin's very good at this, does it all the time. He's probably slightly a little nervous because he does it, we're doing it in front of the camera. However, this is a process that many people are comfortable with doing in the field. And if you are comfortable doing it in the field, we do have lead wire and jumper kits available, as well as reels of our lead wire for our distributors to stock and cut off themselves. However, we understand that not everybody is going to want to solder. So since everybody doesn't want to solder, we do offer our new clamp down connectors, which I have here. So we'll take a brief shot at these, a couple down. So we have our CLP connectors and our SMP connector. So our CLP connector here connects right to the lead wire. Lead wire comes in here, snaps in, snaps down on the tape. We also have an inline connector when joining two pieces together, right? And that works on all our SDSW product or really any of our 2-inch cut point products. Then our SNP connector here is snapped down on our spec grade products. So again, we have an SMP lead, same concept. Lead wire comes in here, snaps on here, connects two pieces together. Next week, we'll talk more about accessories, and you'll get a deep dive in all of our extrusions, all of our accessories from the great Doug Payne and Maura McGinnis. So they will be with you tomorrow, next week, to talk more about our accessories and some of those accessories you see here, which are available in this program: the Q pivot, the Q angle, and our miniature junction box, which I'm sure you will hear tons about next week from the famous Doug Payne, because it is a great product and one we have not talked enough about that Doug will certainly let you know about it. So I'm going to kick it back over to Shannon, and Shannon's going to talk about power supplies, flicker, and those type of things that set
Well, I was
Q-Tran
talking to
apart.
Doug about the presentation. I think he said he was only going to spend 28 minutes on the Q Mini J and 2 minutes on the rest of it. So be ready, be ready. All right. So flicker, we talked a little bit about it. It is a big issue with LEDs, even if you're not dimming them, but it becomes more apparent as you dim them. So based on the power supply, the dimmer, there's a variety of different things that can cause that flicker. So with ours, we have all of our power supplies. We have certain ones that are better for dimming. So when you take one of our magnetics and it just has a DC bridge, if you tend to dim that down to a lower level, you'll pick up some visible flicker. So in the one that you can see behind me on my left or right, I can't tell, I'm looking at the TV and it's backwards, but you'll see that big blue canister in there, and that is a capacitor. So when you use a magnetic, if you're going to be doing dimming, I would always lean towards the option of using the one with the capacitor, which is plus cap, because those will give you very, very smooth dimming. With a power supply, it's probably going to last 30 to 40, 50 years. So with that, we have magnetic and electronic options. We talked a lot about power supplies last week, so I don't want to bore anybody, but we do offer that flicker-free dimming down to 1% or below. We have ELV, MLV, and 0 to 10 volt options, and anywhere from 10 watts up to 300 watts, AC or DC, are all available on this program as far as what we have in for stocking distributors. The one I want to talk about a little bit today is that we covered last week. Is we just kicked it off. It's called the QZ. The nice thing about the QZ from a distributor standpoint, as well as from any rep that's quoting a job or something, is it is literally three or four types of, actually they claim 5, we claim 5 types of dimming in a single driver. Meaning you no longer have to designate if you want 0 to 10 volt or you want an electronic power supply. So it'll do phase dimming. So it'll do forward phase, magnetic, which is symmetric forward phase. It'll do reverse phase dimming as well. So, and then on top of that, it also will do 0 to 10 volt. It also can do potentiometer or PWM if you want to choose one of those options. The output on it, which is nice, is always PWM. So it doesn't matter what the input is, the output is PWM, which gives you very smooth flicker-free dimming on the LED products. So I don't know if we can zoom in on the camera a little bit on the table. We have a couple different models. So they basically go from 30 watts, which is another thing that we were kind of lacking before a little bit. If I can get my hand motions correct, there we go. So we go from 30 watts in a smaller package. So this is a 60 here, which is about the size of a large cell phone, give or take, a little thicker. We do them in black or white. But here you have your line voltage compartment, so you can bring your line voltage in. There's a separate compartment here for your low voltage. So when you pull the wires out, here are my two power, 24 volt power that are going out to my load. Then I have a purple and a gray wire that are capped off. So if I want to use 0 to 10, I use those. If I don't want to use 0 to 10, I just tuck them back in. So it is either phase dimming or 0 to 10 volt. You can't do both at the same time. It's either one or the other. There is no setting, no dip switch that you need to choose. It automatically selects the primary voltage, 120 or 277, and then it identifies which output you're using or what you're dimming it with, and will dim accordingly. So these are available up to 288 watts. And if you keep in mind, always you have that class 2 limitation of 96 watts at 24 volts. So with that, if you got a 288 watt model, it would have 3 separate outputs, 1 primary input coming in, 3 separate outputs. On the power supplies themselves, we have 1/2 inch knockouts on the ends, on the bottom, and on the back. So lots of places for a contractor to bring in and out the wires however they want. In addition, if you want to use this indoors, you can. If you want to use it outdoors, it's also a wet label. So really it's about 5 different models in one single power supply. So it's a great stocking distributor product. You never give a customer the wrong type of driver. So with that, as you know, Q-Tran, we're all about the power and have been for almost 30 years. So all of our products, our power supplies are UL listed versus a lot of our competitors that use UL recognized drivers. So they will ship out a driver that is recognized as opposed to being listed. The difference there is ours are listed specifically for the purpose of powering any 24 volt or 12 volt lighting, where something that's UL recognized is simply meant to be a component. It's meant for a manufacturer to take it, put it inside of something else, and then get that whole system UL listed together. So that's a challenge if anybody ever gets called out in the field for doing that. Really, by code, you should be getting that enclosure that you put a non-listed driver in and have that listed by UL. So with that, I think we're jumping back to Phil to talk about another new product.
Thanks, Shannon. Yeah, so another thing we've kind of, I guess, lacked, would be the best statement, is something people ask us about all the time, and that is a 120 volt linear product. It was kind of challenging and rough for us to come out with, because as a power supply company, being all about the power, you don't need a power supply for a 120 volt product. However, if we were going to come out with it, it was going to be the best. Now, this product is not technically on the distribution program or on the quick ship program yet, but it will, once we work through some logistical stuff, be on the quick ship program. Wanting to be able, as many of you know, we like to do everything in-house at Q-Tran, so we want to be able to do most of this product in-house, and we're just working through some of those logistical things at the moment. And once we're able to do that, we will offer this part of the quick ship program. But it is the first 100% flicker-free and dimmable line voltage LED. I do have a piece of it here. I will dim it down a little. So there we go, completely flicker-free, dims down. As you can see on the slide we had up, it is a high CRI product. Right, 100% flicker free. There's no voltage drop over 100-foot runs. We have single or pass-through options available. It is a great 120 volt product that will be on our new quick ship program, which is something we're going to talk about today and really officially launch today, with some specific dates coming up. Those dates here, as you see on the map of the United States, you'll see the yellow is where we're going to roll this out on June 1st. The gray areas up in New York, in that area up in the Northeast, will be on June 15th, and the rest of the states in blue will be in July 1st. So what is a part of that program? Well, we'll talk about it very briefly here, and we will send out more marketing material on it, but we did want to tease it here today, that this is a 250-foot max order, something that's needed to be on the job site quickly, right? So here are the dates and the products that will be available. From an LED standpoint, you'll have the SD-SW product in 2, 4, and 6, and 27, 3000, and 3500K. The SW 24 and 1.5, 3, and 5 watts. And those 4 color temperatures available. You'll have the Slim, the Wide, the Torque, Lado, Lalo, Vega, VV, Arca, and Tella available. All right, so full reels or full extrusions will ship out in 2 to 3 days. Okay. custom cut lengths of LED and custom cut pieces of extrusions in 3 to 5 days. That is not installed, so not a factory built fixture. Those are custom cut products down to length. And then factory assembled fixtures, so that includes the LED installed inside of the extrusion, shipped from Q-Tran, soldered here in the West Coast or on the East Coast and installed in the fixture itself, will be 7 to 10 days, okay? And again, 250 foot max. So the power supplies that'll be available here, right? So Shannon talked from the electronic driver standpoint, our QZ and our IQ-PH80s will be available, right? Those are available only when used with our LED products, so it's not intended to be purchased and sold with somebody else's. Our magnetic DC power supplies, you see the list here as well. Again, any that, you know, the amount or the quantity is based on how big the actual order is of LEDs that you've sent in, and we will provide the needed power supplies for those specific size orders. And then we'll also have some of our magnetic AC power supplies available for quick ship. You'll see it's a maximum of 25 per order, and you see the list there on the screen. And again, we'll send out some more detailed marketing material on this in the very near future. So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank everybody for being here in California as well as there in Connecticut. And now we will answer some questions.
Yes, Tony asks, can the line voltage product be dimmed? And we did sort of hurry through that section of our demonstration, but yes, our line voltage product dims, we think, absolutely better than anyone else's. And all the regionals have samples, and we have samples available. Phil has it in his hand, and I think he's dimming it right now. But yes, it dims beautifully.
You want to make sure you use a dimmer with a neutral. Whenever, I mean, you're always going to get your best dimming results.
Susanna had asked earlier, sorry I did not see this earlier, does the addition of the silicone sleeve change the life of the LED tape?
No.
No, it does not.
Unless the contractor does it himself and he doesn't seal it correctly and it gets water in there, then the tape tends to degrade. When it's sealed correctly, it does not degrade the life of the LEDs. I would just encourage anybody that if you do have stocking distributors in mind, we would be happy to do a presentation when we can go out and see them, or with one of our regional managers, or we could do a presentation like this. But it's really about getting the product in their hands, then also inviting their customers in to see the product and see why it's different than other competitive brands out there. And I guarantee with our products, they're not going to get callbacks because of bad color or poor performance and things that they might with some other products out there.
Absolutely.
And with that, gentlemen, I think we can all thank all of our audience.
Yes, we did. Thank you again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Appreciate your time very much.